sounded good to me. Drop that hammer down just one last time. I was 5 miles from that county line. I got pulled over just one more time. Cop said, son, you're going to jail tonight. Now I called my mama to throw my bail. She said, son, I love you, but I'd see you in hell. 3 days later I'm walking free again. All these things that I left unsaid, I guess I left against my morals again. 3 days later I'm walking free from her. So what would you do? What would you do with a bottle of whiskey and nothing but the thoughts of you? What would you do? What would you do with a bottle of whiskey and nothing but the thoughts of you? I guess we all got some cheap regrets. I lived against my morals again. 3 years later I'm walking free from her. And all the shit that is left unsaid, I know I hurt myself once again, but 3 years later I'm walking free from her. So what would you do? What would you do with a bottle of whiskey and nothing but the thoughts of you?
Yeah!
I had to turn down my bed. It's really loud. I'm sorry about it.
I think I drink, just so you know.
What do you think, Bob?
What would I do? I think
that, I mean, that's what you do when you go to the breakup, right?
Right?
Let's just get some of the fun stuff. Here you go.
And what do you care? What I wear, don't wear our repercussions are happening now in nowadays. You don't know who I am, I've been looking so long. I figured this out, though I've never tried. Always ran away. Though I say goodbye, it hurts me just the same. And what do you know about this thing called life? You ain't never lived it. Say you might in a different world, under different meaning, yeah, you ran away. But still he's dreaming. Though I've never tried, always ran away. Though I said goodbye, hurts me just the same. I don't know why, but we're better this way. You go your way and I'll go mine. I don't know why. And what do you know? Like I say, call the truth, you ain't never lied before. Don't see the use, you gotta stand on both sides. Never a single lie. I fucked that up really bad. I'm not even gonna try to fuck around with that. So there's that, should I just pick up from the chorus or like what should I do here? I'm sorry, I don't mean to disappoint anything. That would be this, it's kind of distracting.
Do what you do.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you do that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Be a rock star. Kick it out.
Oh no. tried. Always ran away. And though I say goodbye, it hurts me just the same. And what do you care about this thing called the truth? You ain't never lied before. Don't see the use, you gotta stand on both sides of every single lie to appreciate the things in life. Oh, I never tried. Always ran away. Though I said goodbye, those mean just the same. How about if I put a couple more and get some poets to come up and get some people and hear their art? And I appreciate you guys not throwing shit in my head. I just got my hair cut and my barber did an excellent job. I love it.
Foxy.
I've never like taken bubble baths or anything like that, so I got this new ritual of getting a hot shave. And my underwear feels so funky on me right now, I tell you what.
I don't even think I'm nearly drunk enough to do this yet.
Take a drink.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Whoever said that is a genius. I like the cut of your gin. We'll get that to that in a second.
Here's a song about Flint. I don't really write happy songs, so I hope nobody's too offended. Here's a song about Flint, living on 13th Street. Someday I'd like to just burn it down. There's nothing left in my little town. Unemployment rate is shot up again, and it seems my government she could give a damn. Put too much faith into GM. Now my town will never live again. We put all our eggs in one basket. Too much faith in God. We never helped nobody. One man feeling lost. Put all our eggs in one basket. Too much faith in God. We never helped nobody. Hey man, I feel we're lost. sign at the end of my street. I never knew that sign was made for me. We put all our eggs in one basket, too much faith in God. We never helped nobody, all men feel we're lost. We put all our eggs in one basket, too much faith in God. We never helped nobody, hey brothers, we feel we're lost. Yeah.
I say play another song?
Yeah.
You sound pretty darn nice.
Thank you, sir.
Just a little scared of myself today. Just a little angry about some choices I made. I want you to call, don't know what it is I would say. Oh, no, I just wanna hear your sweet voice again. I'm living on fear that I fight. Jumping tonight. I cannot stop thinking about what happened inside. My heart is all empty, it's too late to cry. Just a little scared of myself today. About some choices I made. I want you to come, I know what I would say. Oh, no, I just wanna hear your sweet voice again. To that first night, and whatever happened, we hardly used to fight. And whatever happened to that loved one's hair. It finally happened, now she ain't coming back. Finally happened, now you ain't coming back. for myself today. Just a little angry about some choices I made. I want you to call, don't know what it is old say. I just wanna hear your sweet voice again. I just wanna hear your sweet voice again.
And we're back. Well, that sounds better.
Is that too loud?
Yeah, if it's too loud, I can just take it away from my face and then bring it back. It's too soft. It works. All right. So this piece I'm going to do real quick is called Burn It All. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's a response to all persons.
Is that my cable or was that your mic?
It starts with
My mic was fine before.
go ahead and burn it all. But count on nothing being changed but the ugly peeling paint and columns of smoke.
Do you have a cable,
Placing
Michael?
pillared skyline shade. It's alright.
Hold on.
Rewind. It's alright. Can you hear me here?
Joe?
What do I hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me back here?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's try this again. Go ahead. Burn it all. But count on nothing being changed but the ugly peeling paint and columns of smoke, replacing pillared skyline shade. Everything seems more hopeless as arson artists chisel out a brand new mess from anger and unhappiness with molten memos filling demolition lists. Hate mail, self-addressed, signed with a gasoline kiss. If raised sane, ashamed of flaming inheritance. Fed up with sordid heroes, founders, and today all the same, breaking all our basket eggs into brownfield stains and live grenades. No master planning in 50 years, but we're still all slaves while freedom flees play rat race cage. Or brick tides, crashing waves, drown hopes of rehab haze, everything's washed away but truth and rage. So frustrated people set ablaze or pray to escape. Swallowing pride with deep-seated hate, this circus city's clowns joke around with money and lie until it's lost. Wasting time, I'll run down cogs in a 3-ring broken watch. Lately, though, I've come to blame idealized fame in a city stripped of wits by whips and encouraged to win a dropout race to bridge card slips. As descendants of factory fodder, we inherit mounds of shit, and at most, forgetfulness. Defeatists dealing with decades of loser rants and paid off silences. But our future's not in flames, or at least not yet. Outsourcing's aim was to discredit social gains and pile people with debt. Now there are two prevailing camps of thought for living here today. Either singe your way so our coma homes know in their place nothing better will ever grow, or give up, burn a blunt and don't worry about changing what you never cared to really know. This town is like a dentist office. And gummy curbs house holes where homes were pulled to save boxes of blocks on spirally lanes from roof decay and rotting away. Any segment choose to change the game, refuse to play firebomb, monopoly, or pop off Thematic trouble. The fly city would tear itself down from room to breathe, or live some dumb fantasy that preserve its rich history of rubble. Thanks. You want to hear some poetry from some real poets?
I think I just did.
Oh, okay. Well, I do, so please help me welcome in our first poet. Give it up for the one, the only, Matt D. Go, Matt. Thank you.
I'm Matt D. First and foremost, though, let's give a hand to Lackluster. He does a lot to give artists a good reason to get together. Okay? Straight up. All right. Organizer. All right. It's called Herding Cats. We deal with words in motion, emotional content, translatable sound, sharing dreams with paper strokes. We hear the sounds of chaos, the choir of sickness, mentally breathing unconditioned air, spending spare time with colors, to choreograph the pain, making illness abstracted and interpreted, herding cats into a collective frequency, but in all their own directions. We just want to be heard. Growth trials heated. We want relations, seeking not the universal truth, looking for the beat that will make you all want to dance. The heat, egomanics. We will believe for you. We will speak to you. We've got the spark. Please be our fire. Art till you drop. There's a new creator for everyone that stops. Our pay is per second of your attention. We beg you give heed. A good destiny can be for everybody's need. Sorry. All right. This one's for the farmers. For a moment, let us think about the land and put into words the feelings we know but don't yet understand. What is truly valuable, not just in weight but in virtue. When you got an empty stomach, nobody has to tell you. Filling the soil with ideas that make the mind grow, like a partially open eye looking through a painted window. What we see isn't natural. Prescription direction, operated health, the nutrition sickness brought to you by gangsters. Planning outlaw ownerships with barbed wire democracy. Welcome one and all to this mental prison theocracy. The hand that feeds is wearing a badge and a glove. When politicians laugh, it's never about love. To them, we're like animals afraid before the slaughter. Everybody's a victim when we're all just following orders. Don't cry about justice with a voice full of pain. Unoccupy your fear and send your hope down the drain. Make a plan for yourself and grow and attack, because the earth won't be ours until we take the land back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ode to a spirit, carved into infinity, the curve that never stops, impossible circle, breathing pattern skin, unblinking, ancient, force and vanity, slithers, leaves no slime, with skeletal flexible, wrapping incredible, in muscle is power, in mouth is razor, points to be made with plans of attack, complex movements intrude this. Alone from the day they were born, naturally on their own, no legs, disadvantage, only to the frail, survive this. Too wise for the garden, slave eater. If the devil had his pick, he probably chose quick. Won't choose the cold because they want to grow old. Seducting violence, silence intensity, feared and careless of their shunning. You can never hold them all at once. Poetry, cold instinct, tattoos of the earth. Tube lightning with miracle quickness, forking twists. Lead to weaving sexuality, neutral, hatred, reptile. All my heroes wear masks. They spend their time on projects, organizing introspects to the world around them, but within are shifts like planetary collisions. Their daily sacrifices bury knowledge and skill that gather in interior pits and become creatures that can never sit still. So then they flee to caves, fortresses, and hideaways, the shame of their compromise covered with a mask, a purity that they've earned, a freedom from regret. The meaning of their work gave life to more life. All my heroes wear masks because they live in a world of cowards. They live in a world where the true freedom will always be punished, and death is just part of the game.
All right, before I get up to the next poet, let me just remind you guys that there are people out here doing this for free every single week, like my good friend DJ Michael A and his Wayback Machine, and he'll be here tonight after this poetry is done and after my Ratza is done, like he is every Saturday night, provide you guys some entertainment. So if you feel like staying, get down and boogie, he'll be here doing this thing. Please help me welcome up my next poet. Give it up for Gary Flynn.
You want to be first in line?
How's the lighting, Jenny?
You know what? It's okay. It's good if you mostly face towards me or that way, then I get your light. You know what I mean? Then I get you in the light.
Just stand in front of the
No, I
microphone.
mean stand in front of the
Right, the
microphone.
microphone is the best spot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good, like that.
Okay, first of all, you're probably familiar with my book, Remembering Flint, Michigan. You can focus on this. Does this look fine, Jenny?
Let's see here. I'll zoom in on it for a minute. Yeah. There we go. And I'm
This is
zooming
the first
back.
of two props on Jenny to focus on.
Closer to the microphone.
Okay. This is the first of two props that I'd like Jenny to focus on for the video.
Okay. I got it.
All right. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Now my next piece is Broadside. Well, I submitted that piece last February when it was winter. And you're probably familiar with that wool coat I like to wear during the winter. Although now it's June, so I won't be wearing it until October. But anyway, that's what my next piece is about my coat. A little late, but for one reason or another, one delay or another, hopefully the next issue of Broadside will be this month. Now, the following issue of Broadside, that's the one after the next one, will be a long piece which was condensed for this poem, which will be published in the next Voices. And this is a short piece about Flint's cross-dressing Civil War soldier. In 1856, a teenage girl ran away from her Canadian home. She disguised herself as a man and west she roamed. Settling Flint, she, that is he, sold books. The Civil War broke out. He joined the army by hook or by crook. Sarah Evans was Franklin Thompson, well-dressed, had a muscular build and a flat chest. Served as a male nurse, then a spy. As a spy, she was a master of disguise. After the war, she wrote a book of her adventures. It took several years to convince the army to get her a pension, but got recognition over 20 years after the war. Became the only woman member of the GAR, that's the Grand Army of the Republic, a true hero who knew the score.
Yes.
Now, my next piece is based on a real-life experience from last year. It's about my first and last Ganji muffin.
Do you have any props of those?
I did. I don't know what happened.
Do you have any muffin props?
I was given a Ganji muffin to try out. Knowing what was in it, I waited until I was home for the night. I ate the muffin, washing it down with soda. I didn't feel a thing initially. Then I talked to Yvonne on the phone. She noticed that I was giggling more than expected. I started to notice the giggling myself. As I finished talking on the phone, I caught myself giggling more. So I retired for the night. At 2 a.m., I woke up with a very upset stomach. I tried Tums, then Bromo, and finally Vernors. I wound up drinking 2 cans of Vernors by 3 a.m. When the stomach finally settled down, I got back to bed. The following day, Yvonne laid down the law. No more Ganji muffins for me. And now I'll give my final piece. I gave a sneak peek last night here for the Jubilee, and it was so well received, I was asked outside in front of Churchills to do an encore, right on the sidewalk. And this is, I said yesterday I'd be breaking the prop, so I'll get the fun back. Can you focus on this, Jenny?
Okay. It's Astro Loop. Oh, wait a second.
Let me know when you got it on the video.
Okay, your fingers are kind of in the way a little bit. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's better. Astro Loop. Okay, I got it.
Got any fun bag out or something?
Okay, this is a slippery substance called Astroglide.
Astro Glide. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not lube, it's Glide.
What can I say with so much pride about a slippery product called Astroglide? This substance, providing intimacy heaven, was developed in 1977 by two developers working on space shuttle coolant, but developed the slippery stuff instead, no fooling. The space research origin of all that fame was what gave Astroglide its name. So now women who complain of too much friction can enjoy their love life with no more bitching. Men enjoy the warmth they feel inside as they enjoy the easier the slide. But for women who can bear a child, it's not a contraceptive, so don't be too wild. It works well with condoms, if I can be frank, for better sensations while shooting blanks. So for more fun while rolling in the hay, use Astroglide for better fun, I would say.
All right, you guys ready? One more piece from me, and then I'll put it on to our next poet. That's cool. Is that cool?
Cool.
Cool. All right. I wish I could be so inspired. I only go for girls with dry wit and sad arson hearts. It's true. The ones I date lick lips, dragging Zippo plates across their chests, playfully threaten to go through with it, and I'm a fool. I'm a fool for that. Just a product of my environment. I'm not the girls that nibble on their fingertips, determined to sit because a future stamped with hopelessness. Now the defiant chicks that phoenix out with facing foreclosure or having their copper dresses stripped. I've learned not all of us can be fixed, but I'm stuck on girls that repossess their own destinies. Even if that means the whole squatting inferno, Romeo, Juliet, poison dagger thing. I've spent dizzying nights with girls who giggle about their crumbling lipstick architecture in the bitter Michigan winter. Wonder if a little fire will bring them clarity. As a kid, I dreamt of fixing the derelict buildings of my Midwestern city, all of which have since been erased by fire, work crews, and misery. I know about CPs or girls and less about the real world, but I've known the sharp pain of heartbreak and disappointment well enough by now that it barely faces me. Sometimes I've seen you have to sacrifice a house full of dreams, even if that means setting up camp on a patch of new grass or reimagining. Thanks. I'm going to have to bring up our lovely DJ next because this man has some of the funniest poetry I have ever heard. It's short. I think the word for that's terse. It's very terse, succinct, but it's fucking hilarious. And I know you guys are going to laugh too. And the louder you clap for this man, the funnier he will become because he thrives off this shit. So please give it up for DJ Michael Lay.
What if I didn't bring anything funny?
Yeah, don't fuck up.
God damn it. I just noticed that sometimes I dance like a sports mascot that's been chugging Everclear.
Nice.
Yeah!
That's an extremely short poem. Some people are just pushy. Apparently, somebody in China who has never met me is unhappy with the size of my penis. Honestly, I don't want to knock down brick walls with it.
These are like tonkas and haikus of gold.
I guess this one's a little more serious. I guess. Depends on your point of view, I suppose. Heart pounds and near paralyzed flesh. My single repeated thought is a mangy dog chasing its tail with pointless precision. This day passed by like a dream I dreamed of having. The organism expands and contracts, sickness and health, light and darkness, dying and being reborn. I am you, you are me, we are all one. We are pulling apart. We are everything. I've done this one in a while. It's potentially a true story. Potentially, it's either a true story or it's a dream. I either dreamed that this happened, or I was actually abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
One or the other. I don't know which exactly. But this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. It started with a hum. This dream, maybe not a dream, a hum that sung to my bones, and I was awake, I think, stepping with deliberate child steps down the stairs into cool blue light, and then nothing, until morning found me, pajamaed as usual, safe and well rested in my own bed, remembering the angel at the foot of my bed, barely old enough to build such a thought with the words I had learned. Part 1 of 2. Both these poems have basically the same elements, and they're just kind of reassembled in different ways. The border of my personal universe has been drawn back like a pond, shrunk by a dry summer, and that sunlight falling on the street outside is just a dream I'm having now. That's the first one. Second, I spilled my water on thirsty sand so many lonely footsteps ago, and you recede from my feverish view, rippling like a silken sail in the heat, a mirage that I swore that I touched once, twice, again, but your image galloped away while my eyes were closed, leaving nothing but the dreams. Erotic haiku. Warm tongue on goosebumps, shivering pleasure, cool hand past fevered centuries. Alright. Do one more and then I'll get out of your way. Nucleus of a kiss. Literally, yes, literally a connection, sharing moisture, heat, movement that is at its best a kind of improvisation, motion, jazz, the most sensitive parts of the body linked together, and at both ends it feels like you're plugged into some kind of primal power source, part of a circuit, breathing, synchronizing in the dance of tongue and teeth and lips, sinuous and all raw emotion, breathing life into each other in sweet, low breaths, and for a short time, that space between your faces is the center of the universe. Thank you.
Keep that going, keep it going.
That was awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
And you will be here later tonight and every Saturday night, I believe every Tuesday night at the Loft, but every Saturday night here at the church. All right. Please help me welcome our next poet. You guys still with me? You with me? You with me? You with me? Yeah. She's with me. You're cool. You're cool too. You're cool. Matt, you're not cool. Sorry. You can be though. My 9-step program. All right, give it up for Aisha Harris.
Okay, I got a few poems. This first poem was inspired by some people that I met when I spent the summer in New Orleans. She said halfway houses felt like lost and founds, and she had no intentions of relocating, for nothing was beyond or within her. She simply existed. Human error at its finest without opposition. She had little to live for and nothing worth mentioning. She couldn't smell the roses, and the sugar didn't taste as sweet. Succumbing to her human error, she was waiting for Superman, in quiet desperation for freedom. Submitting to her self-proclaimed unworthiness, she barely existed between the tops. She was ashes to ashes, and dust to dust, in the saddest sense of the words. Thank you. Okay, this next one she wrote a couple years ago, and Mr. Nick wanted a new poem, so I pulled it out.
Yep.
Between red brick and concrete, consumed by the shadows that surrounded her, she cried. Beneath the street lights and sounds of dust settling, she saw her life flash before her eyes. Her outstretched hand attempted to grasp something she once effortlessly believed in. Silence possessed her spirit. She was no longer yesterday's love, nor today's life. All she would know was tomorrow's sorrow. She once felt unquestionably beautiful, but in one moment he confiscated what she held so dearly. Hijacking her innocence, she cried, she screamed. She alone, she died inside. In the background, the night sky smiled. She would never forget his crooked smirk. From an unfathomable distance, she dreamed. A smacking the smile off the face with wistful thinking. With a naive, childlike stare, she imagined herself conquering the vessel that consumed her, embodied by a force so strong that his ancestor would feel her wrath, causing him to regret the future actions of his children's children. Her voice, barely able to travel from her lips, found the strength to pierce the night sky, as if a shooting star. But no one was watching. No one was watching. No wishes came true. That night she stopped believing in the coincidence of a passerby. As dawn rose, her body did not. The sun caressed her, but none would see her smile. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, this last one's kind of short and sweet, and I guess it's inspired by like my greatest 24 hours of school. It was like 12 hours before I graduated and like the 12 hours during. Like we kind of stayed up the whole night and did everything that you're supposed to do before you graduate, and then we woke up and met our parents the next morning for graduation. So it was pretty awesome. Kings raised glasses to the nights that they would remember. Passed cigarettes like currency, they took sips of danger. Looked at fear like the lottery playing, even when the number said otherwise. They were not ordinary men, for they knew Mother Nature on a first-name basis and played poker with Father Time on Tuesday afternoons. Gravity was the only thing fighting against them, and even that was relative. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha, for that lovely, lovely set of poetries. Before I forget, because it's 10 o'clock, there is a man, a friend of mine, very good friend named Abi, that will be walking through that door very soon. Tonight is his 30th birthday. Yeah. And very probably he might just walk in this room not realizing he's about to walk into a trap. And we're going to get him. And when I give the signal saying, "Hey, Abi, what's going on?" if he happens to do so, you guys start saying happy birthday. How does that sound? Cool? Well, he doesn't know. He's coming. I know he's coming, but he doesn't know about this or whatever. So we're going to get him. Cool? All right. Bring up one more poet. Well, I'll bring a bunch more poets, but bring one more poet real quick. And this man, he helped, he's in the original group of the Creative Alliance, helped start the Writers Circle, which is a group that's going to be picking up back in the fall, which is where I got my start. Literally just a group come together, you know, you have topics where you can bring whatever you want, and it's like really soft critique, but it's really encouraging and shows you this community that you didn't even think existed in Flint. You thought there was only 5 of us here, so please help me welcome up Brian Bellows if you're interested in more information.
Thanks, Nick, for explaining the Writers Circle so awesome. I'm not quite as eloquent with words as Nick here, man. We are on hiatus, the Writers Circle. It was a little group we made and shared poetry and writing and whatever, you know, each other. And we're going to start that back up probably in September. We meet every Thursday. But we're taking the summer off to recharge. And my daughter's coming from Alaska. I haven't seen her in like 8 years, so I just want to... I wrote a poem here about my daughter who's coming. and I'll share that with y'all. Every little memory is still with me. The times I cared for you, changed your diaper, gave you a bath, dressed you up in clean clothes, made you something to eat, or sat you on my lap, and watched Elmo together. I didn't flow together. And watched Elmo together. Our bike rides are still with me, and the times we spent at Custer Park, or the night I brought you a bottle in the dark. Alaska reminds me of you, the Matsu Valley, making waffles for you in the morning, watching basketball games on Saturday afternoons, the endless summer nights, eating ice cream before bedtime. Thanks. The funny thing about ice cream before bedtime in Alaska is because we'd go out and have ice cream at the ice cream place at like 11 o'clock at night and the sun would be shining. It was just like really a moving experience. I need to elaborate on that in a poem, I think. Alright, here's one I wrote a few months back, about a year ago. I've been going through I've been kind of a funk the past few years, you know, feeling kind of like negative and overwhelmed by the negative things. And this poem was kind of like about me stepping out of that, so. I'm walking these steps again, up the hallway and back again, wondering, watching the people. These are moments that we share together, moments away from new destinies. Our lives are abstract, obstructed, temporarily invaded, analyzed, corrected, and rejected. This is the space between here and there, walking these steps, are drifting away, passing the moments of the day. Thanks, man, that's it. Sometimes I'm a little reluctant to share because, I don't know, they're not eloquent pieces of literature, nothing, just silly little poems, but I feel like you're doing great. I need to be up here. Thanks. Okay, here's another one I happen upon here. You know, when I first started out, I wrote a novel. It's called The Wagoners. It's about these hippies that go on this adventure, you know. And when we started the writer's circle, I was trying to finish up my novel and really wanted to be a writer and all this stuff. And we had a really good group of people, like Chris Ringler and Glenn Birdsall and Justin Phillips, and we were all wanted to be writers, you know. And then we dragged Nick into our passion here back when we started the writer's circle. And I don't know, but because I started writing poetry because I was doing the writer's circle, and it was easier to write poems and share pieces of my fiction and stuff, and I was really passionate about them. And I wrote some really good pieces that were almost like performance type pieces, but I should probably dig those out and share those because they're actually much better than the stuff that I've been writing lately. But I started keeping this little notebook, and I just keep it with me, and I jot these poems down, usually just one little page poems. And we pick a topic at the writer's circle, and I'll jot down one or two of these little poems. But anyway, one of the topics was that we picked over the last few years was Runaway, and I'm going to read that one for you here, and then I'm going to read the one about Custer Park. Get me out of here. I need to be anywhere but here. This cold reminder of all the imperfections of my youth sitting idle, bridled, primed and ready for life. I just want to escape this madness. Society doesn't need me, and I want to get away. I just put my thumbs out like Dean Moriarty, brave the open road, free my soul's conformity. I'm heading up for normalcy. Give me back alleys and crooked highways, small amounts of change in my pocket, but give me my dream. Let me be free to roam. Lead me away from home. All right. This next one here, I wrote this for the Bring It Festival. Who's heard of Bring It Festival here? Two of us do. There's this big community festival that we put at this. Some friends of ours put on it at Custer Park, and Jaron, the guy, one of the promoters, asked me to read this poem, and I wrote this poem with them. I never ended up reading it there, but I'll share it with you guys today. This park holds a special place inside of me. It echoes memories of raising my daughter just blocks from here. We'd set out walking with Kersey Park as our destination. Back then, the playground equipment was tattered and broken and surrounded by thick weeds. There were no ball fields, and this pavilion was in desperate need of repair, covered with bad graffiti, littered with broken glass and random bits of trash. I heard stories about what a beautiful place it was when people would gather on summer days. When the community pool was open and the park was clean and the community wasn't filled with angst towards each other, and people mowed their lawns and people owned their homes and they mowed their lawns. It was a different time. It made me dream of a place and time when Kersey Park would again be what it once was. So I started writing about this place, crafting fiction that was built of everything I thought it could be in my mind. And then they finally came, and they cleaned the parking lot. They cleaned up the pavilion, they added the ball fields, and added a playground, and they started having festivals, Shakespeare in the park, and people started coming here, just like you came here today with all the park's dreams come true again. And now it's beautiful.
You're beautiful, right?
You guys want to hear one more, man? I know I got another poem here.
Give us one more.
Oh, okay. Drew, my friend Drew, he's Drew Nelson. He comes to the writer's circle quite a bit, and he's always writing poems about like substances and like getting drunk or something. So I wrote this poem in Drew's spirit. Like I was trying to write that poem like Drew would write. Okay. I see the bottom of a bottle of Jim Beam, and the label is hazy. The black letters against a white background move around as I try to read them. On my agenda for the evening is to snort this cocaine. Once my Jim Beam is empty, while I light my cigarette, the flame from my disposable Bic singes the hair on my lip. This whole situation is a trip. I'm biting my lip, peeling the label off this fifth. I wonder if I might get the urge to open a fresh bottle. I'll drink myself silly, all in the hope of forgetting life's worries. I'm drinking myself into a corner. Thanks, man. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks all for coming out tonight, man. It's great.
Well, that's what the Support Your Local Poets Open Mic is all about, Ryan. Thank you. Real quick, let me introduce my good friend Abby to everybody. Say hello to Abby. And actually, yes, it's his birthday. So let's do this right now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abby. Happy birthday to you.
Huge birthday, people.
Came for a month. 21 tonight, get him drunk.
Yeah.
Single ladies.
I'm going to do one poem, then I'm going to give it off to my good friend Jennifer. This is a poem that kind of goes with Ryan's last one there about drug abuse, about being young though, more than anything. So it's called Well-Rounded Youth. Woo-hoo. You said we were looking-glass explorers, but let's quit lying to ourselves. We were drug fiends. Sneaking open-eyed dreams past bathroom mirrors, mirroring minors, making trouble, unaware of nightmares. We were sleeping apnea addicts, squeezing fresh air off porcelain and pissing our lives away. Delusional kids climbing to heaven by falling through the clouds, never realizing fulfillment's emptiness, having everything and it being hideous. All pale shark skin and demented grins, paranoid stares and blinded sight. That's until I stopped to swim and truth sank in. The darkness grew warmer than the light. I closed my blinds and pretended it was night. You see, the dawning of sobriety inside of me was at first mistaken for bones and blight. Scared, shifty, and alone, nostalgia for some unknown flight. No more sheep to count on for dreams, alarm clock buzzer, blistering, groggily. That last moment before I wake, I most want to sleep. Mourning lucid peaks and the hellish feats of dumb, astounding losing streaks. Forgetting history was always heresy, and blinking rapidly only led to more fear. And with eyes coffee clear, till a looking glass to explore is the rear view. So I careened through the city streets like a hearse, desperate for taxi cab fare. And I spent break times in parking lots, browsing newspaper pages for the obituary to such voluptuous youth. Thank you.
Keep that clapping going for our next poet. Give it up for Jennifer!
Yeah, and then you have a Zoom, so you can like, thank you.
I've never done this before.
Well, they bring you so much love, you have no idea.
Life to death, we all are dying, locked in our minds, our soul is crying. Demons sit with words beguiling, can't you see? They're lying, trying to feed their nails prying into your heart. They watch and mine your soul. They lick their teeth in vain, you feel their cuts again and again, as if by some unholy vein. You trust, you must, you bear the pain, you think you've gone insane, you're lost. All but hope it slowly drains, all the blood within your veins, all the noise from all the rains and claims and blames and soggy brains, as if we put into refrains, your God. Fire burns on this fire till you hope you are the liar. You wonder if your life is dire, and all you know is that you're tired from life and lies of world prior until you sink into the mire. You're dead.
That was her first time on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck. Alright, there's so much talent in this room, there's so much talent in Flint right now. I'm going to ask you to please put your hands together one more time, one more time, a few more times, for one of our excellent writers, the cowpoem man himself. Give it up for Scott Russell.
Yeah!
I mean, there's a lot more than that too, but definitely a great thing.
Is it real? What's his name?
Peter?
There's a lizard in the room. Yeah, the whole time you were up here performing, I saw your hand, and it like had a tail coming out of it. And it kept kind of weaving back and forth and stuff, and I think, is that her hand doing that? It was amazing.
Sometimes I forget her hair.
Anyway, so I guess you're what kind of lizard is it?
Bearded dragon.
Okay, I guess your dragon has never done this before either?
Nope.
Yeah! What's the welcome dragon?
Okay, yeah. All right, I will do a couple of cow poems at some point. Yes. I was going to try to write my wife a Valentine at one point, because, if you can write, you're supposed to do stuff like that. So, I couldn't get any really good ideas, because you don't want to do the same old crap that you can buy in the store, because you can write, right?
Right.
So, I thought to myself, well, gee, what you ought to do if you want to make a Valentine is not look at the symbolic heart, but maybe look at the real heart and see what ideas you got. So I found a picture of a heart online. And this is what came out of it, so I didn't give it to my wife. It's called The Heart is a Lonely Monster. The heart is like a creature from a film about a journey to a distant star with sexy spandex crewfolk at the helm. Lust is the same, no matter where you are. And when they land, there is this monument of weird design, a technologic tomb with hieroglyphic doodles in cement. But do the rocket jockeys sense their doom? Of course they do. To Trecophile applause. They push the button that reanimates a pulsing organ with about 11 maws. The thing destroys the cast and crew it hates with the special effects cost overruns, and the budget burns like a million suns. So anyway, I used to be married. That's the kind of thing you can try over and over again. It's interesting when people, you get married and you promise, I've done it twice, and you promise somebody this is forever, and you mean it, and then forever ends before you do. Wow. Wow. That's heavy.
Does that make you old? Is that? I've done the same thing, but just a question, does that make you old? It may last longer than forever.
Yeah, I know, it makes you jaded. You get bored easy.
Experience.
Okay, so I'll do Demosthenes. You guys know the story of Demosthenes? Nope. He was an Athenian. He was the sort of the quintessential orator. Story goes, he kind of actually, this poem doesn't actually follow the legend exactly, but he had a rather weak voice, and he didn't enunciate clearly enough. So he would go to the seashore, he would put pebbles in his mouth, and he would speak and articulate above the sound of the surf. And that ultimately exercised him into becoming a great orator. Actually, I really doubt that works, so don't do that. But this is a villanelle called Demosthenes. Okay. A man must hold these stones beneath his tongue. The spoken word should rumble in the sight. I've driven back the ocean with my song because I spoke so well and got it wrong. Some words return to haunt you in the night. A man must hold these stones beneath his tongue until they turn to sand. When I was young, I made the truth exist with all my might. I had driven back the ocean with my song in ignorance because my voice was strong, but words and wisdom never did unite. What man has not held stones beneath his tongue when love was life, but didn't last as long? Our words are sorry. Silence is contrite. I've driven back the ocean with my song, though tides reclaim the shore where they belong, under the moon and silver in her light. A man must hold these stones beneath his tongue, and then drive back the ocean with his song. From Trinidad to Pueblo on Bear Gulch, below Greenhorn Mountain and not much ride, and east overland to Amazon Ditch, Garden City, Dodge City, Wichita. No sense nor brains nor anything but sky, from which fell sadness in the name of rain. And sun so bright. Oops, I forgot the line.
Rewind.
That's funny. Huh?
Rewind.
Rewind, okay. Wichita. I just went blank.
It's all right. Yeah.
I know it's all right. It's just
I don't have a poem.
you try to get the thing going. You get a spell going, and then of course that goes to twink and breaks like glass. I'll do a different poem, and then maybe I'll come back to it, and you won't know. Is it too far to go with human limbs? And somewhere in between the head goes down, and that decaying stroke the swimmer swims, because from beach to buoy, some people drown. Within those perfect depths where sunlight rays resolve in utter gray, the cold fish dart and feed on secret knowledge all their days. The swimmer knows his craft, the drowning art. The rescuers drag fathoms through the night by lights that look like spirits from below. The victim sinks, and all the world is right. The life complete, wherever drownings go. He'll come in with the tide, and not before, no matter what the distance back to shore. I think I'm going to take that one poem home and punish it, and then I'll get it right next time. Oh, okay. The new cow poem is called Holy Cow. It will be coming out of this issue of Broadside whenever the heck it gets back from the assembly. Anyway, Holy Cow. The light laid silver coins along the road as heaven opened in a clouded sky. A row of sphinxes in their middles glowed and dwindled infinitely small in cumuli. And each leaf on its twig and from its limb was unlike any other, or the same as eating stove of fortune and brewed dew. There is no other but the other's name. Some cows across a nearby pasture grazed, their muzzles busy in the summer grass. The thundered revelation never phased their steady progress through the gathered dew. There is no mirror if the self is glass. They were, and were not what they knew. Thank you.
One more time, this guy, Russell.
All right, just a quick reminder before we get basically to our last poet, back to Matt Ratza, and then on to the night with DJ Michael A. and Abby's 30th, 21st birthday. And that reminder is that if you enjoyed yourself, you can't wait for 2 months from now, which will be our next spoken Support Your Local Poet open mic on August 4th, 9 p.m. this very room. Then you should check out the Creative Alliance's monthly collab night, which will be the third Wednesday of this month, June 20th, at the Good Beans Cafe. There's an open mic, an open canvas, which you can paint, you can perform, and do whatever the hell you want to do, because it's all about the community coming together. And that's free at 7 to 10, June 20th. And the next free Support Your Local Poet is August 4th, 9 p.m.
Let me just do a piece of something real quick.
Yeah. Yes.
Woo. All right. Cool. I remember last time I saw Scott Russell, I was showing him a book, and the book was titled Horny Ski Mask Demons, but I had not yet written a poem, Horny Ski Mask Demons. I just got the phrase, and so I was like, kind of working on it. And he questioned me about it, and I didn't have a poem for him. So now I'm going to read at least half that poem, if that's cool. Cool. Cool, man.
Cool. All right. It starts out like this. There's a sick hipster appeal to living in a town this real. There's little here for fun, and home is hell for some who dip out to craft big city lives from the scraps of kings. The best of us, hired as escape artists at age 18, but there's no need to blame the evacuees. They did their time. And only God knows what it means. Most fields in the city were first built up dreams, burnt down rapidly to erase bad memories. The boom times are gone, and so is prosperity. The only boom that makes money now involves liquor store robbery, and business is good. Behind weed, greed, and exploitation is the backbone of our economy. Heavens forbid someone forgive the need to provide and no one's the need to survive. Excuse me. Heavens forbid someone forgive the need to survive when no one provides hope or a living salary. Unions establish a false sense of security, but the ease of certain things like summoning cash by smiling, smug, sawed-off fangs reminds the devil works in mysterious ways when coping with desperation and hunger pains, or of seeking alternatives to the martyrdom of minimum wage. Even with paradise underfoot, inner demons cause generational pain. Maybe instead of being the destitute descendants of opportunity's haze, perhaps horny ski-mask demons is a more fitting phrase. Isn't that what the headlines read? Action news spicing up the verbiage, planting seeds, and in TV times like these, everybody needs a sacrificial savior to disrupt the feed, or a monk making a stand in gasoline from the fields and take the lead, but that's not me. Fiends seeking a funeral by fire trucks should crack a beer and look as arson city cashes in on bad luck and low self-esteem. Slashed wrists spewing flames, delayed exalted fools fly for a hangman's dream, while leaders drive away in four-wheel ironies, trailed by folded factories. Stay here long enough, there's a real chance of getting stuck, stoned and broken a pothole rut. A loony wolf, tricked into twiddling thumbs while a trapper comes then gnawing off its own foot. For a second, imagine starting over as the same kitty chairs, still choosing to chisel wild horns from woolen halos. But this time, let it be enlightening. This time, as a trusty corporate angel, rob the system and earn yourself a bailout, because while everyone agrees that you should agree to everything, when referred to a pair of split-kissed pistol lips smelling seriousness for some dumb, gunmetal ventriloquist, the truth is obvious to any idiot, and the security cameras paparazzi enough to know you won't get away with it. Funny
How many registers are already stripped down to their nickels and cents before the bad guys arrive to cash out the Coinstar contents? This is fine. Nothing left to steal in Flint except the billions from our teeth-slate god mine are made from PVC. Half the population lives up to polluted expectations and never leaves the shallow sea. Raised from tadpoles and chlorine fountains, surviving with deformities. Waiting to steal kisses from a non-existent princess while croaking on modernity. The young trade salvation for a 23, destined to repeat the cycle until hellbound, shot down, and murderous, rich and free. End of the day, we sacrifice ourselves. Even there's nothing left but vast foundation slabs like wailing walls where the temple used to be. True believers conditioned to die or live trying. Nothing new but keep moving. Laugh about this tragedy.
That's about 83% of that poem right there. So take it for what it is. Give me like half a clap. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something really amazing. In the room, we have not only one rock star, two rock stars, we have at least 3, 4, 5, 6, like 25 rock stars. That's right. You guys are the shit. And we're going to do this next month. Or the month after next, we're going to do this the 2 months after that. We're going to do this every single goddamn day, because that's what we do in Flint, Michigan. And I got someone that exemplifies that. It's our last poet of the night, so please give a warm, warm reception for E3. Yeah.
I normally don't read at open mics, but I'm gonna try something a little different tonight. If you've ever walked to remember something you were never meant to have, you were one of them. You walk to find nothing. You walk to find yourself. You walk to remember. You walk to forget. You walk because it feels good, and you walk because that's the only way you can be sure that you are still moving forward. See, I am a walker. Someone said that life's greatest journeys begin with a single step. So every day I take it, hoping that I make it in the right direction, and that amount of innocence will be a protection, because I know I'm not perfect, but I'm working. I'm currently a work in progress, so that means that I'm learning, and that's all that I'm yearning for. To correct, perfect, and redirect the person inside is all that I'm searching for. In that night, I became a walker, because each step brought me closer. Every kiss brought me lower, and the pain isn't over, so I walk to remember the times that hurt the most, and I walk to forget how much I loved her, and every step is a tear that I'm gonna have to shed, and every walk is a slap in the face because you aren't here to take it with me. I walk to find a way to make you love me, but I walk to find nothing, because that's the only way I can ever be sure that I'm still moving forward, and to remember that I never want to have a love like this again. Woo! Good evening. My name is Ethan Red. Hey. Okay, you all were like silent during that entire poem. That's not cool. That's not gonna fly with me. I feed off of energy, so if you like what you hear, feel free to stomp, clap, snap, cheer, dance, whatever you need to do. Just feed me as much energy as you want me to give back to you. If that's cool, say cool. Cool! If y'all having a good time, say peace. Peace! Sweet. This next piece is the title track off of my upcoming album, which should be out by the end of July. We're hoping for it, called MP, aka The Murderer Poet. Hope you like it. Prophetically pushing in public the people from the pulpit, obtaining oracles, overstepping obsolete souls by rolling through its E, edifying entities entitled to entertain envious enemies with exclusivity while educating the elements of rawness with prejudice T. The transformation translates into silence, influence every night. Was anybody at our work last night? Yeah. Did anybody hear the gunshots that went off about 2:30 in the morning? Which ones? In the parking lot right here, flat lot.
Like 15.
I'm gonna put that poem on pause. I was literally standing right across the street performing with a wonderful band called Question. We had just finished our set, and about 37 shots rang out in the parking lot across from Raspberries. Sad, right? So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I'm gonna do this poem. It's called Flint Town Part 2.
Yeah. All right. Come on, come and listen it.
The streets of my city sing a song to serenade the victims of lost loved ones with sirens in the background and strobe lights to bathe the block in red, white, and blue. If you guys want to come in, you're more than welcome to come in and have a seat. If you guys want to come in, you're more than welcome to come on in and have a seat. Like, it's perfectly okay. I mean, it's just kind of like fluttering in the peripheral. It's kind of distracting. Come on in. I'm just about to start poem. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the lovely lady and gentleman that just walked into the room, y'all. Give a round of applause. Gotta make everybody feel good. It's the sports you love. Open mic. Give it up for DJ Mike A one time. Just okay. Back to the poem. This is Flint Town Part 2. What's up, man? The streets of my city sing a song to serenade the victims of lost loved ones with sirens in the background and strobe lights to bathe the block in red, white, and blue light. It's a sad, sad world and it's only getting meaner. The streets of my city could use a redeemer to draw them back to their former glory like a well-crafted work, perfected by a skilled artist. Each brushstroke is a pulse in my veins. Each color is a passion untamed, a story unnamed, a body unmaimed, a man unslain. That's one less body that was destroyed by a lad. That's one less good man for a kid to call dad. It's a sight to rise. Who grows tired of the news of another 21 gun salutes for the fallen soldiers and the ghetto heroes, the homeless man in the stairwell, and the dreams we wish farewell and Godspeed. See, as a people, we refuse to bleed for you, because to lose a life in this city is only adding to the concoction of melodies from mothers mourning their sons, and their sanguine lines to spread from the divine. It's another morning sun, anoints another parent, mother, and mother, another son. It's a new day, giving life to a new way, because I said to lose if you need to use a rewind, it's like DVR poetry, like AT&T can rewind live TV. I'm built like that, so if y'all need to like say rewind if I'm talking too fast, that's cool. Everybody say cool, say cool. Y'all having a good time, say peace. Sweet. Because to lose a life in this city is only adding to the concoction of melodies from mothers mourning their sons. And these sanguine lines are spread from the divine as another morning sun anoints another barren mother to mother another son. It's a new day, giving life to a new way of giving life back to the living till the dead are gone. And the streets won't bring them back. Can you believe that? Can you believe that this is all there is? Because that is something that I just can't see. So for those of you who understand, will you please explain it to me? Because Flint is more than just a city. It's a lifestyle and a way of thinking that we've been bred through, for the rest of the world bled through, and well with you.
Yeah.
When common sense lost its hold on the real world. Because to use an old cliche, common sense ain't so common today. Because if it was, then common wouldn't need to be common, he'd probably be Kanye. And the throne he told us to watch would have been his own. And Drake wouldn't have had to resort to writing acrostic poems, and he might have lived twice. And that uncommon Kanye and lyrically ended his life. See, life isn't to be taken for granted, though it was granted to us for free. See, when life is on the table, death comes to collect its feet, and that uncommon Kanye had to lyrically end. Yeah, I caught it. Because this uncommon Kanye had to lyrically ended his life. See, life isn't to be taken for granted, though it was granted to us for free. See, when life is on the table, death comes to collect its feet, and that's just the norm for those of us who want to weather its storm. See, Cornel West said it best when he said that Flint was like New Orleans without the hurricane.
Yeah.
I said, Cornel West said it best when he said that Flint was like New Orleans without the hurricane. So I want you to imagine the same thing that happened in the lower Ninth Ward in your own backyard. Floods of people who've lost all hope for themselves, being inextricably interwoven in this fabric that is tearing from within. Women and children being attacked by a beast formerly known as men. But pause. To be a man, I'm gonna school y'all real quick. Y'all ready to go to school? Yeah. Cool. To be a man doesn't mean that you command or demand anything at any time. It means that you preside over your own lives and such a way that you don't have to portray yourself as something other than you are. It means that you are the foundation to solidify those around you and the luminary that enhances your wife's inner star. It's not who you are, but what you choose to be. And to see the differences in your history and your future's mystery is to see the delicacy in cause and effects, because the words love, honor, and cherish should come with no regrets and no part-time clauses for a full-time job. Yeah. Especially when those clauses will rob you of the happiness which gave birth to your marriage in the first place. And the time he takes off work is when his wife feels the most hurt. And if he wants to undo the damage he's done by putting his relationship on the line, he's got to put in overtime, like FEMA should have done in rebuilding after Katrina.
Yeah.
Have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. Just get warmed up. Okay. So now, the murderer poet. I really wrote this poem. It's extremely difficult to perform. This is like actually my first time performing it in public, and like rehearsing it, I screw it up every time. Like it is literally almost impossible to perform perfectly. So I'm gonna try to do this tonight. So if I screw it up, it's all right. Is that cool? Is that cool? Go! All right. My mouth's going numb, like already, like looking at the page. Okay. Murderer poet. P. Prophetically pushing in public the people from the pulpit. O. Obtaining oracles, overstepping obsolete souls by rolling through its E. Edifying entities entitled to entertain envious enemies with exclusivity, erroneously educated that was prejudice T. The transformation, translating the transfiction of transient telepathy to the poetry next to me is finally complete. Murderer poet. Warrior with words, I wield weapons like projectiles built from knowledge and verbs. Syntax based in the highest dialect with the most adequate context and oral constructs that connects to keep me from dying next. Interior energies recharge my discography to literally detail this entire lyrical lobotomy I sent to you autonomously. It's an indie dimension with the passion to write. Interior energies recharge my... You catch that? He said rewind and it's like you just jump back like nothing ever happened. So if I... Literally, if you need me to stop it, just say rewind. Somebody said rewind. Rewind! Cool. Interior energies recharge my discography to deliberately detail this entire lyrical lobotomy I sent to you autonomously. It's an indie dimension with a passion to write. I'm so ill, I have a prescription to be dope and drink Sprite throughout the day to quench the delay of saliva between the things that come out of my mouth and the rate at which new poems are flowing out. Because I have a prescription to be dope and drink Sprite throughout the day to quench the delay of saliva between the rate at things that are coming out of my mouth and the rate at which new poems are flowing out. Writing instruments forged from adamantium pencils that Wolverine flow pistols can't penetrate. I pin my traits and put poetry on my resume, so after I'm done you may resume a show or return to your regular scheduled programming. I'm presuming you expected me to leave the mic intact, but none of y'all could have predicted you would have got mic jacked when I stepped on your stage into your venue or spit in your bar. But while you were swiping your visas, I was renewing my library card and reading the scrolls to infinity and beyond and searching for similarities between Genghis and Shaka Khan. That's the baseline for the bass in the backyard. People at break beats that evolved from Run DMC to snapbacks and white tees, murderer poets. When I stepped on your stage, entered your venue or spit in your bar, but while you were swiping your visas, I was renewing my library card and reading the scrolls to infinity and beyond and searching for similarities between Genghis and Shaka Khan as the baseline for the basement and backyard b-boy break beats that evolved from Run DMC to snapbacks and white tees, murderer poets. Called in by the lyrical cavalry, dynamically, erratically, emitting verbal savagery. I spit to create, instigate atomic nuclear casualties, slaying by the mass of these torrential mental flows in which they can't participate. The lyrics I give my drowning out their comprehensive mental state, leaving peaceful minds irate. Our promise is destined to break, but the princess we call Faith, who slept with Fate, and thereby condemned the entire human race. The first place in our debate against death can all relate because the truth ain't in religion or in the valley of decision. We're an air of minuscule precision because it's drawn another comprehensive mental state, leaving peaceful minds irate. All promises destined to break, but the princess we call Faith, who slept with fate, and thereby condemned the entire human race. The first place in our debate against death can all relate because the truth ain't in religion or in the valley of decision, where an air of minuscule precision leads to a gargantuan incision, where the soul of our existence is being left defenseless as if with alcohol-influenced senses while babysitting two 40-year-old motorcycles and bear Power Rangers fighting princesses, murderer poet. I'm All promises destined to break, but the princess we call Faith, who slept with fate, and thereby condemned the entire human race. The first place in our debate against death can all relate, because the truth ain't in religion or in the valley of decision, where an air of minuscule precision can lead to our gargantuan incision, where the soul of our existence is currently being left defenseless, as if with alcohol-influenced senses, while babysitting 2 40-year-old motor skills impaired Power Rangers fighting princesses, murder poet. I'm contemplating the floor-shaking butterfly effect of the rhymes, lines, and phrases I'm about to utter next, murderer poets. Analyzing the toxicity explicitly being exuded from a chemically enhanced dictionary that I found in daycare, and how to convert its gamma rays into text, murderer poets. Orchestrating orchestral arrangements of dangerous endorsements with licenses to kill, but on the record never reported, murderer poet. I'm going to spend the energy more repeating the beat that we all so made every to make us doing it for the English, don't interested whenever I write, so that I am maintaining a standard that's legal. I am the murderer poet, and I'll say I'm orchestrating orchestral arrangements of dangerous endorsements with licenses to kill, but on the record never reported, murderer poets. I'm whipping and spinning and looping, repeating the beat that we all are pursuing, in every attempt to make it subduing and fully engaging, dope and entertaining whenever I write, so that I am maintaining a standard of excellence to leave nothing remaining. I am the murderer poet. Okay.
I'm exhausted now.
Oh wow, wait. He said I can't do the poem I was gonna do. No, he said I should be a rapper. I have a poem for people who think I should be a rapper.
Wait. Have you ever considered putting out a CD?
A CD? Yes. A rap album? No. So, I was gonna do this really awesome poem, but he just told me I should be a rapper, and I really have really strong feelings about that. So please don't take offense to it. But I have to do this poem. Imaginations, illuminations, it's 40 watts like 40 shots of 400 cc's of insulin spent. Sent to counteract the sweet sugar spit that attracts those ants to the mound on sacred poetry ground, the road. This is sanctified poetry. My pad is the ark of my mental sanctuary, and by definition, poets redefine the dictionaries. They're calling us a visionary, like I'm subliminal, like an area, like the word ethereal, but they call me ethereal. By definition, we are more than the stencil graphics created by the stigmas we choose not to follow after. Our laughter goes unheard when someone says poetry and rap are the same thing. Shaking my head no as I smile at these earthlings. See, poets flow through the universe because this galaxy is really made of ink, and it is redesigned with every line that traverses the barrel of a ballpoint pen, glides across the finest cotton paper, descends into the fibers, and is lifted out again with the wind from a poet's lungs. These are tongues of flaming evangelism, searing my lips like poets practice cannibalism. You're catching my symbolism like a child in the catechism. It's my job to encapsulate your mind in the fabric that traverses the chasm of your brain, causing mental spasms. My pen's soul is made whole by the array of this barrage of camouflage. The way I hold metaphors from the score of horrors of those who claim to be P-O-E-T, high cap C. See, even if you were genetically... Yeah, I just high cap C. See, even if you were genetically reborn on the 18th of May like you and I shared a birthday, you still couldn't quite write like me, you see. Pause. Is everybody strapped in? This poem is about to take off. If you are not with me, let me know now so I can like catch you up.
Take it back like do it. You spell it like
okay.
We're gonna do this one word.
Fast forward.
4 lines.
See, even if you were genetically reborn on the 18th of May like you and I shared a birthday, you still couldn't quite write like me, you see. I write to break the chains of ignorance that binds the minds of those who spend their time wasting away in bars behind lines of destruction. It's a cocaine rain that infiltrates the brain as I rewind this line to find you losing yourself. So rewind the brain to infiltrate the brain of lyrical cocaine used to destroy these lines behind bars as a way of wasting time. Yeah, that was like really difficult to write, so like, okay. I write to break break the chains of ignorance that binds the minds of those who spend their time wasting away in bars behind lines of destruction. It's a cocaine rain that infiltrates the brain as I rewind this line to find you losing yourself. So rewind the brain to infiltrate the rain of lyrical cocaine used to destroy these lines behind bars as a way of wasting time. Links and bonds in the chains of ignorance you refuse to break free of, and my pen needs to be free. So taking shots of Crown Royal will never make you royalty, especially when it lays claim to your land and charges you royalties for being in your own home, losing your self-esteem and or your life for street royalties. The ghetto is in each and every one of us. So, am I out of my cotton picking mine for attempting to pick my best poems at home? Look, the industry is the new plantation. Sharecropping these microphones is the quickest way to get nowhere. So we throw Boston Tea parties and toss our insecurities over the side of the ship because we're harboring fugitive thoughts. We're accessories after the fact to hip-hop homicide. We ride the line between free and slave through a 450-year memory about what being black used to mean, and we use that as a jacked-up excuse to excuse our mistakes, but exclude our escape from what society says we should be. That slave mentality has been modified to ensure that it will arise in each and every one of us. So we fight it. Cast the first stone and riot outside the Atlantic for the first and 15th emancipation. Proclaim that. Lay claim to rap. Remove your foot from this bear trap before these carnivorous media cats snatch your whips and your chains and your back in the field. So the harvest time used to be a celebration. Now we're fighting segregation between real MCs and this new nation of ignorance who don't mind being hip-hop monkeys swinging from trees. And I'm curious to know how many of these whack rappers really wouldn't care if their labels beat them if they were black and yellow. Labels on your back, screaming that's nothing. They chain snatching on your neck, brother, that's nothing. Yeah, you know what it is. Thank you. Yeah.
Alright, so was that right or was that right? This band is fucking cool.